Hello and welcome to Poser TV. This is your host, The Edge. And I want to talk today a little bit about testimonies. I see a lot of Christian testimonies out there. I've very much enjoyed several. Most of them are done in series because how can we wrap up our lives in a 10-minute video, right? Especially our lives pre-Christ and post-Christ. And I think I'm going to do that eventually. But I've been thinking about the word testimony, and its most popular meaning, and I think the way most people think of it is, I was once lost, now I'm found. Let me tell you the story of how that happened. And that's a true testimony. I agree with that. But I think we have all kinds of testimonies, really. I think a testimony in its simplest form is saying, hey, I had an encounter with God, and I want to give Him the glory for ... That's kind of what I want to do today. I'm humbled to tell this story, and there's a lot of details that can't make it into a 10-minute deal, and I don't want to bore anybody, so I'll just say that back in my young 20s, working at UPS on the airport ramp at night, I was surrounded by a bunch of guys that they were really cool, laid-back, fun-loving, party-goer types, and there was at least 4 out of 8 that dipped snuff. Basically, for those of you that don't know what that is, it's just tobacco that you put between your cheek and gum, and then you spit the juice out. I guess the hardcore guys can swallow that stuff, but as many years as I did it, I never ended up getting to be one of those that could swallow it. So what started off as just a casual nighttime habit that I only did at work. In fact, I never bought a can. I used to just bum off my buddies. Turned into a few years of addiction. Don't think I ever got to the point of having more than 1 can a week, but couldn't get through a day without, at least a few dips. Obviously the harder times, any nicotine addicted person, even smokers will tell you this, the hardest times obviously were right after meals and if you had had any alcohol. Those are the 2 main times that you just are like, okay, where's my nicotine? I never could get into smoking, not for lack of trying. In college, me and my buddies would go to the popular hangouts on Thursday night, and everybody would pass. I think there was one community pack of cigarettes, and we'd all pass around our little cancer sticks, as I like to call them. And I would light up, and I would think I was smoking, because I was puffing smoke out of my mouth and looking cool. But one day, one of my friends goes, "Are you really smoking that?" Yeah. What do you mean? He goes, "Do me a favor. Just draw on it." So I go, and he goes, "Okay, now go." And I go, and that was the end of that. I obviously didn't know how to inhale. And when I did learn how to inhale by him, I coughed for probably an hour and a half straight and had no intentions of repeating that. So my nicotine addiction was purely oral in nature, and he meaning God, delivered me from the addiction a little bit before I met my wife. And it was a pretty permanent deal, and because God had helped me with it. It wasn't just me doing it. But then, through various stresses of being married and helping a guy open up a brand new staffing agency, and it was literally ground floor, sink or swim kind of stuff, all kinds of stress re-entered my life, working late hours and weekends. And again, surrounded by a couple of guys that dipped, well, one guy at least. One night I was just like, hey, dude, we were managing an event out at Texas Stadium. I came in, let me bum a dip off you. All it takes is 1 weak moment, and you've relapsed, and before long, you're in tears and suffering from anxiety because you haven't told your wife, and you think maybe you've got oral cancer and all kinds of idiotic stuff. So fast forward a little bit because I think I'm getting too long here. Maybe I should have broken this story into parts. I quit again. God delivered me again, and it's been several years since that relapse. But here at work, about a month and a half, 2 months ago, my partner, I need to stay away from people that dip. My partner here at work had a can laying out on his desk and he was gone. And I'm just looking at the thing like, what's one little pinch gonna do? I've been free from it for so long, blah, blah, blah. Phone is ringing. And it's no one that I need to answer, so I'm not going to. Anyway, did it again. Hit it for my wife again. Got anxious again. Every little nick on the inside of my mouth, even if I had been chewing up crunchy chips and scratched the side of my mouth, I'd get freaked out that, oh no, I've got some sort of lesion or cancer or whatever. And then before long, my jaw really started aching. And I just had a little talk with God. I said, hey God, deliver me from this once and for all. I know it's a process. I know it can take some time. But I'm asking you now, and that way if it takes a while, I can be starting the process now. Well, God works in weird ways because he wasn't ready for a long, drawn-out process. He basically said, Jim, I've protected you all these years from any kind of oral cancers or problems or needing to have your jaw replaced and teeth rotting out of your mouth, but I'm done with that. So you decide right here, right now, if you want to keep doing this. Basically, he said, dip and die. I was like, dip and die, that's harsh. And he's like, well, put it this way. I'm removing my protective hand from you. You can play Russian roulette if you want and put another plug in, and maybe you'll go a year, maybe you'll go 2 years, and you won't have a problem. But, my protective hand is gone in this matter. I'm healed. And this time I don't think I'll ever go back because what kind of option is that? I mean, that's the ultimatum of ultimatums. Wow, I didn't take it. I haven't even had a craving. I haven't after meals or after a beer or something like that. I'm just not. I'm like, forget it, man. I don't even think about the stuff when I see guys doing the stuff. I'm just like, oh, that's gross. And, I'm doing my best not to be one of those that used to do it and looks at everybody that does it and like, nana boo-boo. I also am not one of those that's going to sit here and say that if you have a nicotine addiction, are a sinner and you're in need of repentance and any of that stuff. I think, especially since it's a legal habit, I think it's really between you and God as to whether it's a sin in your life. And it was in mine, if for no other reason, because I kept keeping it a secret from my wife. But I think it was also a sin because I was defiling the temple that God made, which was my body, and it was so important to me that I was putting the habit before God. So just a little testimony, encouraging any of those of you out there that maybe suffer from a similar thing. Ezekiel talks about some hardcore stuff, and we watch Intervention and all these things on TV shows about people that have cocaine habits and hardcore drug stuff. But something as simple as nicotine has a grip on a lot of people out there. So glory to be to God. I love that he's delivered me from this. I love him for everything he's done for me, and I felt compelled to share this story. I guess I'll end with this. I went to the dentist the other day after not having gone for 2 years, convinced that even though he delivered me from the addiction, that maybe I'd still suffer a consequence since my jaw was hurting so bad. Well, turns out I have no precancerous cells, the x-rays look good, and the dentist thinks that I'm just clenching my jaw really tightly at night, and I might need a stupid mouth guard or something like that. So, God is so good. I don't deserve it. I don't deserve Christ's blood. I don't deserve deliverance from this, but hey, He gave it to me, and I want to let you guys know. This is The Edge signing off for now.